Hello, beautiful world. This is Izabela Chrobak, the owner and founder of Authentic Wellbeing Company and the host of this beautiful show. Welcome to the show where we are really raw, vulnerable, open. We are sharing and talking about even sometimes taboo topics, and those are many cases very cool and very important. Today I am stoked and I am happy about talking about Yoni eggs. Yes, today's show is going to be amazing. I'm going to be also presenting, showing you a couple of things, but I'm really happy, honored, and little maybe stressed to talk about Yoni eggs. What are Yoni eggs? How am I using them? And how you could possibly use them also for your practices. So let's start, let's dive in, okay? So Yoni eggs. Yoni eggs, what actually Yoni stands for? What is Yoni? Yoni from the Sanskrit is actually the sacred temple or the universal womb. So it's basically our womb area. This is Yoni. So Yoni is really commonly used today in many aspects related to womb practices, especially in the sacred practices. We are not talking about physiological part in this case, which that would be relevant to our vaginal and uteral area and all our womb area. So Yoni is our sacred womb, universal womb, the source of everything, entire creativity for us women. What are Yoni eggs? Yoni eggs are crystals, nicely shaped in the egg form, in the egg shape. I'm going to present in a minute one. So because of that, this is very comfortable shape for a woman to insert in her vaginal canal and to hold it, to carry, to do some yoga practices with it. So because of that shape, it's really very comfortable to work with. And on top of that, it's crystal, which, as we all know, crystals carry a lot of energies. Crystal can help in healing, in protection, in creativity, in self-love, in so many aspects. Of course, depending on what crystal you choose to work with. So crystals are really very energetical sources of a lot of power and a lot of healing properties. And as we know, crystals come from earth, so they also help us to ground us and to work around whatever we want to work on with them while they are in our sacred, universal, powerful place. So the Yoni eggs, which I am using, and I have just those eggs from that company, is Bliss Yoni eggs. Bliss Yoni eggs, you see the very nice, beautiful pink box. Bliss Yoni eggs, I think I found it by also listening to some another woman. This company is the source of really high quality crystals. So when you're buying crystals, you really need to be aware which one you can buy. There are some Yoni eggs which are made of some crystals which are kind of weaker or more prone to cracking or maybe even breaking, which you really need to be aware of to either not buy it or to buy from really good sources, to make sure that you are buying, first of all, not a fake crystal, but good quality crystal, which is properly performed and shaped and created for you to use. Also, when you are handling it, it's also important that it just doesn't drop or you really take care of it, because also can crack or break, and these things can happen. It's a crystal, it's a rock, it's a stone. The Bliss Yoni egg has all of the, or most of her Yoni eggs are certified. All of them are Reiki energy, Reiki cleansed, energetical cleansed. All of them are really well delivered and good quality. Good quality. I found a couple of another companies with maybe lower prices, but I had doubts about if those crystals may be coming from a good source, plus they didn't give any certificate coming with the egg. So that was something what was really no for me. On top of that, Bliss Yoni Eggs delivers this little booklet this is amazing, describing literally everything, describing how once you get the Yoni egg, you want to clean it physically. Just clean it, obviously, because this is the external thing which you are going to be using and inserting into your vaginal canal. You want to also cleanse energetically. Of course, all of them coming from Bliss Yoni Eggs are already Reiki cleansed, but if you feel like you want to cleanse them, smooch them, maybe bath them, in particular, solutions, your own ritual-based practices, you are more welcome to do so. And she's also listening a couple of ideas how to cleanse energetically and how to store them, how to also work with them. She's showing how to use the string, because you can buy Yoni eggs drilled or undrilled. Undrilled is basically a crystal which you insert and you need to kind of birth it out, release it from your vaginal canal when you are done. Drilled ones are more suggested for beginners, or for those of us who are a little bit maybe scared or afraid, not fully aware of our womb activity and our capabilities, if we would be able, or we are able, or will be fine bringing it back out. Just so you know, we are all able to do it. We all totally could work with the undrilled one, but as I said, for beginners, even myself, I bought the drilled ones at the beginning because I really wanted to have that security. What is it? You are using the special, usually hemp, organic, it can be hemp organic, it can be silk organic, it can be hemp covered with wax, beeswax on top of it, any type of hemp, usually organic or silk organic string, which you can use. And she's also showing how to use it, how to put it in that drilled hole and tight it, so that way it's secured and ready for you to eventually release it and pull it out of your vaginal canal when you are done working with. So that gives you that security to know that if you are already done, or you don't know how to birth it out, you have that string to pull and securely release it and let it out. And an entire booklet also shows yoga poses, how to work with it in many ways, and this is really something very helpful. And of course, on her website there is also a lot of articles showing other practices and how to work with particular Yoni eggs. Another thing what I found very beautiful, and when I compare to another websites, every single egg on the website is very well described. What is it important for? What can you use it for? How can you use it in terms of what do you want to work with? And if that crystal may help you. It tells you what chakras is associated with. So it's really amazing. I usually print out and I can show you. It's literally an entire page of description about particular egg. And as you can see, it's also certified, because that way, even you can resonate with Yoni egg because of the color, and you just right away got drawn to it. But sometimes you just want to read. You know what you want to work on, and you don't care about actually the color. You just want to find that crystal which will help you to work with those things which you truly need. So it could be, maybe some protective energies. Maybe you want to work on your insecurities, maybe on creativity. So whatever it is, by reading all this entire description, you can really find a stone for you. And this is what I found really amazing, because usually other companies, they have like very tiny little description, and it's really not much helping with choosing this Yoni egg. How to choose the Yoni egg, I just mentioned. Usually, and how I chose, I got drawn. The first thing was I was scrolling, I looked at all the pictures, and I had like maybe 3 or 4 of them, which I right away got drawn. Then I started reading the description of them, and then obviously right away I could pick 1 or 2 which were really for me. And I knew I need that one or I need those 2 ones. So that was usually, I really allowed my guidance, inner guidance, to pick one. I had some things which I wanted to work on, which helped choosing. But if you don't have any, totally fine, because you can, if you feel that you want to start using them and working with them and using their energy to heal some particular parts of you, you definitely are ready for it. Just see what your intuition, what your body will drive you towards, right? And in the meantime, I want to show that string, cotton string. I even have a piece card. So you have that, this is not cotton, hamstring covered with beeswax, which you can use to go into the drilled yoni egg and use it for that pulling out. And I'm going to share with you also, as I said, this is the box, and you can see in the box I'm having my yoni egg, which is bathed in my herbal mixture. So my herbal mixture, every yoni egg I have, it's sitting in that beautiful mix of herbs and flowers. And I'm going to pause my mix ingredients down below this video, but obviously you can see there is a calendula, there is like dandelion, there are some lavender, rose petals, cinnamon, a little bit bark. So there are a couple of some essential oils in it to keep my yoni eggs happy, fully energized, covered in that beautiful, beautiful scenery. So as you can see, and here I have a yoni egg. So this is the medium size. So you can see right now how big it is, right? This is my finger. So it's like, yeah, half of the finger. There is small one and there are also big ones, large ones. In terms of choosing the size, there is also beautiful description on the Bliss Yoni Egg website. But for you, how I started choosing, obviously the first difference is between being pregnant or never being pregnant. The second thing is beginner and advanced. So if you are a beginner and maybe either pregnant or not pregnant, you may want to start with either medium or large, because our vaginal wall may not be yet ready to hold the small ones, may not have those muscles worked well enough yet to keep them. And also, the small ones are so tiny that you may not feel it, or you may not even lose it, especially when you are going to do any type of yoga moves. But more description is again on Bliss Yoni Egg's website. For me, important aspect was to feel safe, to feel confident, and to benefit from it, to work with it, to feel it inside of me. That's why I chose medium to start with. I do have small and I do have large, and they do definitely feel differently. Definitely the small one is very very intimate, and small one is also very special. It's really special because you barely feel it, so you really need to connect with your womb and really work with it, with your breath and your vaginal muscles, to be able to work with that egg and to feel it and so on. So it also makes you be more aware, makes you feel connected to womb more. Whereas medium or large, you will physically right away feel connected to it because you will feel it, it's there. Of course, working with it is the same as with the small one. You work by connecting to the egg, to your space, to your breath, to your body, and you can create beautiful, beautiful sacred ritual around it. So this is the bloodstone, as you can see. And it has those little tiny holes here where I could put potentially that, now it's getting a little bit cranky, so I could maybe do it. I should have done before, but oops. Okay, so now I'm not going to put it because it's on the floor, so I'd rather wash it. Anyway, this is the drilled one, so there are instructions in the booklet how to put the string. So right now I think I covered a lot of informative things. So Bliss Yoni Eggs, one of the best, and actually the best source for me for yoni eggs, which really delivers them in a very beautiful box. You have a special personal note from the owner of the company. You have the beautiful booklet, and she's also supporting and giving you the beginner's kit, which has the string, and I think the beginner kit has also washing device. Of course, you get also the care book insert, how to take care of your egg physically, emotionally, energetically, physically. And from me, I'm going to share also that beautiful flower bath which my eggs are sitting in, and a couple of another information. And so we mentioned those things. We mentioned how to choose egg based on your physical abilities and also what you are looking for energetically and emotionally. Also, we talked about the sizes, and we talked about drilled versus undrilled. Now, I would like to share shortly with you how I am working with them, because actually this was the partially, and actually not partially, but main reason for that video. I got drawn to Yoni eggs when I started connecting to my women body more and more. I started working on rediscovering my menstrual cycle awareness, my powerful and feminine creativities and powers. And I started diving deeper into how I can embody my feminine characteristics and how I can become more connected to my body. My history, just to make the story short, is really that I've hated being a woman for majority of my life. I literally hated it. I hated everything related to it. Periods, breast, boobs, hips, curves, everything. So for me to rediscover that new area in my life was literally very crucial, very vulnerable. It brought a lot of tears, it brought a lot of awakening, it brought a lot of regrets. And that's why I started to heal those energies. So Yoni eggs were the first one also to rediscover together with menstrual cycle awareness. And I got Yoni egg by basically being driven, and after reading the description, one of them were the ones which I truly wanted to have. And that one was black obsidian. It was grounding, protecting, very like protecting, supportive, and grounding you. So that way you really, if you feel unsafe, insecure, you use black obsidian. And that was for me huge, because I was really craving safety. I felt very insecure, I felt very unsafe of expressing myself, unsafe of even talking about my femininity, unsafe of expressing my true voice in my company, with my clients, and even with my own family and friends. So that was my first egg which I got from Bliss Yoni Eggs. And then I followed her booklet for cleansing physically and energetically my egg. On top of that, I already had some practical practices in my rituals. So I used smudging, I used some kind of prayers, sitting with it, holding in my hand, holding to my heart, to my womb. I wanted to connect with it. It was the first connection with something like that, right? This how I thought. I'm like, Yoni egg, this is it, right? Okay, this is the thing. Okay, let's connect with it. It felt like I'm connecting with some part of me also. And at some point, I also wanted my Yoni egg to feel comfortable and safe, because I wanted to feel comfortable and safe. So I created that beautiful herbal mix just visually, just by visual appearance and by knowing how some of those herbs and flowers can bring all those energies together and support my Yoni egg. I am drawn to dandelion, right? I am drawn to rose, lilac. I am drawn to a couple of flowers, couple of essential oils. So I wanted to build up the mixture, which was really expressing my personality. So that way the Yoni egg which I'm going to use is going to bath in something what I am sharing with, my personality with it. So that was really beautiful, because I was just mixing and creating, and it felt amazing, and it smelled beautiful and looked amazing and wonderful and magical. And And then I started working with it. Of course, I used drilled egg at the beginning because, as I already mentioned, I felt very insecure and unsafe, not only energetically, emotionally, mentally, to express my voice, but also I wasn't connected to my womb and my body at all. At all. I was just newbie into that area. So I didn't even know how to push, how to press, how to use my Kegel muscles. I had no idea how I'm going to bring this egg out. And so I needed to use that hamstrings and be able to pull. And I will be honest with you, for the first beginning, it was just a few minutes. It's just a few minutes of warming it up in my hands and then inserting it with that string and lying and massaging my womb and feeling it and just being with it. And I allowed myself just to be with it. I allowed myself, if something will show up, I would be very happy. If nothing shows up, I will be okay, because that's my first time after numbing my body for 36 years almost. So I was fine with whatever it would come. It was short because I was feeling like maybe I need to finish. I didn't know if it's too much or too little. And then I got a little stressed because when I started pulling it out, it didn't want to come out. And I started stressing even more. And you know, the more you start stressing, the more your muscles get constricted and the harder it is to actually release it and pull it out. So I really needed to start moving and dancing with it and just get relaxed and trusting, telling myself, you are okay. You are okay with it. You are okay to release it. You can do it, and you are safe. And I think my Yoni egg that time didn't want to come out of me that fast as I wanted it. That's why it was hard for me to release it. My body constricted because it wanted to keep it, because that movement really, really lightened me up and gave me that beautiful, beautiful feeling of safety. And that beautiful feeling of safety allowed me eventually to literally, without any effort, pull it out and birth the Yoni egg out back again. So that was my first experience. Another experiences were more easier, and of course right now I own a couple of or few more Yoni eggs, all of them from Bliss Yoni Egg. I love Bliss Yoni Egg because I can personally connect with her and ask questions. I remember when I was looking for some egg and I was like kind of drawn to 2 or 3 eggs, and I just didn't know which one would be beneficial for this, what I was looking for. That time I already knew what energies I wanted to work with. I contacted her personally via Instagram and asked, what do you think? Which one would be more beneficial? What are your experiences? How could I potentially, choose one for the best benefit of my practice? And that was amazing because the conversation was just so personal. It was so personal that eventually we became friends and started literally talking about Yoni eggs, about womb, sacred practices, about crystal wands, and so many other things which are so empowering for creating that awareness about femininity and your own superpower, which is you being a woman. So definitely I strongly encourage you to check it out. And if you have any questions about Yoni Eggs, whatever it is very theoretical, energetical, is it very deep, intimate, whatever, what if, reach out to me, reach out to Christine from Bliss Yoni Eggs, reach out to both of us and ask questions, because only by asking you will know what to do, how to do, and if this is meant for you, because it's not meant for everybody, obviously. So reach out, don't be ashamed. I'm providing below my video the information for the website to Bliss Yoni Eggs, as well as my information, my email, my social media. So if you feel like you really want to reach out intimately, anonymously, reach out to us or to me via email, which is directly my personal email. So that way we can help you out and help you to create that beautiful sacred ritual, because Yoni Egg practices, wow, are really empowering. Like, I always create a beautiful evening around this. It's entire process for me. It's bathing, it's listening to music, it's moving with and without Yoni Egg. It's doing yoga poses or dancing. It's praying. It's, having fresh flowers on my altar, like dim light of the candle, like essential oils, incense. It is entire process. It is entire practice and ritual and ceremony around it. And every single time I feel connected to them in totally different way. Every single time there's something else. There's something what they either tell me or my body tells me, or something is showing up out of it. And definitely it is powerful. It is powerful. I am really happy I could share that information with you. It took me a while to open up and talk about this. I'm working with Bliss Yoni Eggs and Yoni Eggs for almost a year. And I was really, again, there was that insecurity around true expression. But this year, as you already know, I rebranded my company into Authentic Wellbeing. And for me, for this year, 2019, authentic is the word. And I want to start sharing authentically everything about my practices, my self-work, things which are showing out, which are helping me out, and which can help you out. Because only by being true and authentic, I can help you out and I can help the rest of the world. Only that. I know how we all crave the authenticity. So that Yoni Egg practice and ritual I am practicing since almost a year was really important for me to share. It is a really vulnerable place for me to still be there. It is something what also was, it took me a few days to kind of think how I'm going to deliver that message, but eventually I just came here to my studio and I just started talking and sharing, because this is what I wanted to do. And yep, I think that would be it. So one more time, please, Yoni Eggs, amazing eggs and Yoni Eggs. Remember, if you feel called after watching this video to work with Yoni Egg, hit me up, hit Kristen from Bliss Yoni Eggs up, and then reach out to us. Search, do some research, do some intuitive research also. What are you drawn to? And if you have any questions, reach out, and then just start your own practice and see how you are feeling. And when you start, share with us, tag us on social media, on Instagram, so we can see how that practice is empowering you too. Thank you so much for watching this show. It's been a pleasure to share with you something so vulnerable, so intimate, so feminine, and so powerful, like practice with Yoni Eggs. I love you all and see you in the next video.